When they draw their swords, they shout, Jove optimo maximo. This is a prayer to Jupiter, who was the best and greatest of the Roman gods. The Romans were very religious people. They worshipped a great many gods. It's always good to have the gods going on your side going into battle. As you can see, the lightning bolts on the shields also representing Jupiter. The shield wall is very effective. You can see how well protected the men are. If you were an archer attacking them, you'd have to be extremely accurate, and all you could go for really would be their eyes up their ankles. The people that the Roman armies fought in general were very brave and skilled fighters, but they fought as individuals. They didn't fight as a unit. They weren't professional soldiers. And it was this discipline and uniformity that gave the soldiers of the Roman Empire the edge. This is the wedge, or cuneum, and it's an arrowhead formation led from the front by the centurion. This is used to break apart an enemy charge. Still used today by riot police, who use similar shaped shields. So if you imagine you're a farmer who's gone to war, you only have one bit of weapon, it goes into a body or a shield, it will bend, and that means it can't be thrown back. It also means that they're easier to repair. And out on campaign, each soldier would be carrying 2 of these. On the right-hand side, they wear the sword. This was called the gladius, and this is where we get the word gladiator from. It means a swordsman. It's drawn with an inverted grip. It means you can draw it from the scabbard from behind your shield, and it's a stabbing weapon. So you use the top 2 or 3 inches, you punch forward with the shield, and then stab with the sword into the jugular, up under the ribs, nice and quick. Get your opponent down on the ground, and then behind can finish him off. Around their waists they're wearing the cingulum militare. This is a military belt. This is also a symbol of you being a soldier. So if you were in your undress kit, not having your armour on, at least you'd have your belt and everybody would know you were a soldier. It has a decorative apron to the front, which we do think is pure decoration. It's not really much protection for you, but it's nice and jingly when they're marching along. Also on the belt on the left-hand side, you have the military dagger, the pugio. We don't think it was often used in battle, but it's useful when you're out on campaign, in camp, for eating or hunting. The footwear that they have on their feet, we have a combination of the Roman palagi, which is the marching sandal, and the enclosed fell boot. In both of these we have examples of being found in Britain, and the fell boot is also found along the wall at Vindolanda. It's heavily studded underneath with hobnails. This gives protection to the leather, and also is useful for stamping on your enemy when they're down on the ground. And the famous Roman Emperor Caligula, that was actually his nickname. He was properly called Gaius, but his nickname means little boots, because he was friendly with the soldiers when he was young. We also have 3 officers on the field. We have the centurion, who was taking the squad. The century in the Roman army was 80 men, not 100 as you would imagine. He has a crest which goes from left to right. This means he can be easily identified in battle. He wears his sword on the left instead of the right, and also carries a vine staff. The vine staff entitles him to beat a man to death if he disobeys orders. The second in command is the optio. He was the centurion's choice. He could pick who was his second in command, and this is where we get the word option from. As you can see, he also wears a crest front to back, and he carries a long staff. Again, this is used for discipline. It also helps him to keep the lines in check. And finally, we have the standard bearer carrying the standard of the legion, a high-ranking officer. He carries a small decorative shield, and every soldier would have to fight to the death to protect the standard. If it was lost in battle, the legion would be dishonoured and disbanded, so it was a very important role. And as you can see on the standard, it has our name, the 8th Legion, and the MGV stands for Mutinus Gallica Victrix, which commemorates the big battle that they won in modern-day Modena. So we'll now reform the troops and we'll go through some drill moves. We do know that the 8th Legion were present in Britain not the full legion, but some cohorts. They were actually based in Strasbourg, but some contingents did come over here to fight, and we have found the shield boss from the late legion in the River Tyne. The first manoeuvre we'll demonstrate is the anti-cavalry manoeuvre. This was called the contre-equites. They used the shields and the spears to form a defensive hedge. And if you can imagine thousands in a row doing this, it would be very effective. And ranked behind this you would have archers who would be firing arrows into the oncoming charge. You can see how well the shields fit together, leaving just enough room for the weapons to be in the fighting position. Now the centurion will take the men over to the other part of the arena, so you will all get a good view of that. You'll be able to hear that the orders are given in Latin. The Roman Empire was very large and incorporated many different countries, all with their own languages. But as a citizen of the empire, you would be able to speak Latin, and this meant the army could recruit from all round. Everybody could understand their colleagues and, very importantly, understand the orders. So again, you can just see there how well the shields fit together to form a defensive barrier.
Shield is passed over, and the javelin is thrown, and he makes his way along. Nigel is about to throw his javelin, and just over the top. Now they turn and change. The shield goes up, and nicely done. One. Oh, and sadly a miss on the second. But I know you'll cheer the one, ladies and gentlemen. The louder you cheer. 2 out of 2. Give them a round. Ahead. 1 and on we go. Oh, yes. Brilliant. The stirrups are riding one-handed. All of the riders are carrying a shield on their left-hand side. This is a smaller version of the auxiliary shield. They're wearing mail shirts made up of several thousand links joined together.
Strong. We have thrown a small pelt on the top before and it did hold, although he wasn't very happy about it. But the main problem is you can't really see where you're going, so you have to be very trusting of the man in front and keep in step. When they keep the step, they will say sin dex, and this is just short for sin dexter, which is Latin for left and right. As part of their daily training in the army, they would carry out a lot of what is called square bashing, just practicing the drill and practicing the manoeuvres. Now we're just going to march the men round to pick up their spears again, and then we'll get into formation at the back of the arena to let the cavalry come up.